Hi guys, how we doing? We all good? So today we're going to do some racing on iRacing. So the one I'm going to be doing today is the Ferrari 296 Challenge at Summit Point. Some of you guys will have done this track many times before. It is a beautiful little track with the curves that you go around. Um, I find the track very technical at points, especially in the first couple of corners where you need to be very careful, especially in the Ferrari, because, like I said, it can be quite twitchy at times, but it's a great car to drive. So let's crack on. We'll get on the track and see what we can do. Right then, here we are. We are at this lovely track at Summit Point. We're driving the Ferrari today. Like I said before previously, I find it quite twitchy. It's quite hard to drive. But it's learning how to handle the car and what corners you can throw it into and everything else. But as you can see here, we're on the formation lap. I actually landed myself in second position. I honestly don't know how I did it. I must have got very, very, very lucky. But yeah, I'm going to follow the first car round, just sort of prancing round very slowly, trying to warm up the tyres and seeing how the car feels. But I'm kind of a little bit scared and dubious, if I'm honest, because I'm a bit worried about turning and warming the car up quite quickly because I still don't know how it handles properly. Like I said, I'm very lucky to, or very fortunate to be at the front of the track. So yeah, loving it at the moment. I find iRacing quite a challenge, especially with some of the newer cars and courses to get myself familiar with. It's just not an easy thing to do when you're a beginner and newbie like myself. But yeah, I'm going to go around these last couple of corners before hitting the straight and seeing how we actually do. As you can see, the cars are bunching up quite nicely and warming up their tyres as well in the background. If I remember right, coming around this next corner, looking back out my mirror, I remember seeing a car spin out or lose it and crash into another car. And maybe that's just people trying too hard on this formation lap. I don't honestly understand why you would want to go crazy, especially those blinking cars on the track already. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe somebody didn't come off, or maybe they did, or maybe I missed it. Could have swore I saw something come off, but never mind. Anyway, so we're coming onto the final straight, and the pace car's now just removed itself, and we're off. We're just waiting for the first main Ferrari to sort of take the lead and see if we can actually do anything special. Right then, we're racing. So I kind of let off on the accelerator just ever so slightly here, just to see and find out how this Ferrari feels on the first corner. But I don't feel that my wheels are completely up to speed as it is at the moment. But yeah, happy. Racing, second place, not too bad. And I mean, I'm like this new livery I've got, this little dinosaur effect. It looks kind of funky, to be fair. I have been messing around with trading paints to try and find the perfect livery and something that sort of, I don't know, looks good, I suppose. But yeah, coming around the corners, and I'm now happy that my tyres are actually warming up quite well. Hopefully in the next lap we can start throwing down some speeds. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad at the moment. I do love some of these camera angles. They look pretty good, to be fair. So yeah, this car is quite a nice little drive. Bit scared still to throw it into some corners, but I suppose with time and patience I'll get there. This guy's going to shunt up, dart down the left hand side. Yes, he is. Going to have to give him a bit of room. Oh, come on, Colin, you can do this. Nope, I think he squeezed me. Yeah, I let him go and the car behind. I just feel that I'm going to get branged or rear-ended, shall we say. Right then, coming around this corner, and everybody's still with us. looking good so far. Apart from this fellow that's completely messed it up and probably ruined his race, if I'm going to be honest. I think in this particular car you've got to be very careful. I mean, I've done a few races where I've lost it and I thought that I was in complete control of the Ferrari. Whether it wasn't the tyres being completely up to temperature or it was just me being completely idiotic, it's really hard to judge, especially on the first couple of laps. So this guy's passed me on the left hand side and tucked in nice and neat. Found the braking spot. Yeah, that was a hard corner for me. I think I struggled a little bit in that section. But yeah, getting used to this car is quite hard. It's about not pushing it and trying to find your limits. So let's have a quick talk about Summit Point. It's a lovely track, I have to say. It's basically just under 2 miles. I think it's about 1.9 miles, I think I read. It's got about 10 corners. It's got 10 corners. I think the first 2 and 3 and 4th corner are quite easy to kind of get around, should we say. But the 5th and the 6th, you've got to really tuck in quite neat and tidy and drop that speed when you're coming into the 5th corner. I've seen a lot of people that have been flung off or thrown off the track by pushing it far too much, and that's what I was saying before. It's knowing your limits and how fast you can take your car and can you make it around the corner. I think it is a learning curve, especially for me being a newbie, should we say. Yeah, this corner, it also is quite tricky. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I've been thrown off in this corner millions of times, even in different cars, especially, I've raced this track many times in the Mazdas and the Toyota GR86s. I love this track. It's such a pleasure to drive. But yeah, this car, the Ferrari, is such a beast to drive, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. Putting your foot down can be good at times, but also can be equally the worst times. It's knowing how fast you can take that corner and when to push it. Gotta say, I really do like the livery on this car. I was messing around with trading paints a couple of days ago and having a look to see what people have actually made, and this sort of dinosaur sort of look I thought was quite cool, especially for the Ferrari. I like how its arms or legs are on the side of it and it looks like it looks like a little dinosaur, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, and its teeth at the front. Love it. I've actually got my own liveries I've actually been doing as well. I've not quite done the Ferrari one yet, but I think I might do in the next week or so. I've actually been advertising my fishing channel, which is called What a Load of Carp. I do various YouTube videos, and I thought, why not put my brand on the side of the car and show it to the world. What sort of liveries have you guys got? Have you got anything that stands out that you'd like to share with us? I'd love to see or have a look at it. You know what I mean? I think decorating your car and making it look quite special is something quite unique, and I think having a car that stands out is epic. So getting back to the race, I am trailing a little bit with some of the cars that are in front of me are far too quick. I think I'm roughly about 6th position at this point, losing a bit on the corners. I just don't feel comfortable of throwing down or putting down before. I feel like if I did that, I'd probably lose it slightly. But coming into this corner, I think I handled it quite well. Putting down the brakes, when you're coming up to the left hand side, you see the markers. I think I made it about the 3rd marker before the corner, and just letting the car follow around the corner in a fluid motion, especially coming into this next one as well, doing a similar sort of approach. But I still feel I'm losing a lot of speed in these particular corners, which you guys will probably tell me that I'm not doing it, that I'm not taking the best ride or taking the right curve into the corner, hitting the apexes. It's like I said, it's all about learning and seeing what I can do, but somebody else has just come off there, bringing me up a place. That wasn't a great way to come back on the track, but that is what happens, I suppose. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm doing too bad, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, but it's all about repetition, isn't it? Once you start doing something and you're doing it quite frequently, you get used to racing a certain way, I suppose, and driving a certain style of car. But yeah, the Ferrari is something of a bit of a beast. It's a bit of a step up from the Mazdas and the Toyotas that I've been racing. But I felt like I've been racing for about 2 months now. I thought, you know what, I want to try something a little bit meatier, a little bit quicker, and I feel the Ferrari is quite a good little step up from that. I'm not actually doing too bad, am I really? Let's be honest. I mean, driving the Ferrari around Summit Point is quite a little bit of a challenge for me anyway. I feel like I'm doing alright as a newbie. I'll get better at this at some point. I'll get a lot quicker, and hopefully we can improve our times, really. I think I was hitting roughly about, I don't know, 110s, I think it was, around here, which is probably not the quickest. I mean, I think some of the people that were racing were doing about 1.8s, 1.7s, so I'm probably about 2, maybe 3 seconds off the mark. Yeah, here we go, 109. So, again, I don't think I'm doing particularly that bad. Another guy's just come off and found the gravel again, rejoined, trying to get a tuck up behind him and try and get a bit of draft off him. Saw that corner quite well, I believe, but yeah, it's hitting the apexes and making sure you exit at the right speed as well. But this corner is an absolute beast if you get it wrong. I know I've seen many people put your foot down and be flung off. Me being one of them. I was driving and did this the other day, and I was like, actually doing quite well considering, and got towards about maybe the second to end lap, I think it was, and all of a sudden I pushed the car far too much and I got flung off, and I spent the rest of the race actually in the pits waiting to be fixed. And them waits can be quite a long time if you completely budge your car up, which I did, and I finished the race in the pits, which was a bit of a sad times. But yeah, I'm enjoying this race at the moment. I'm getting around the track in a comfortable way and fashion, and yeah, I feel that with a little bit more practice, I think I'll be alright at this. I think I'll be pretty good. I do like this car. It feels lovely to drive, if I'm going to be honest. As you can see, I'm just coasting around really more than anything. I am catching a few cars. Whether that's because they've had a few incidences and they've damaged or the tyres are getting a bit worn, I don't know. But yeah, I'm catching up a little bit. I'm enjoying my racing. There's nothing worse than coming off the track and damaging your car and spending the rest of the laps going round at a poor pace. Right, this is a good exit. I think I got round. Oh, I've overtook someone as well, which is nice. Gained a place. The guy's tucking up right behind me as well now. But yeah, I think like anything, it's consistency, finding the right braking points and getting used to a track. Like I said previously, I mean, I've only just got rid of the racing line, which was a great help to get yourself used and familiar to certain tracks, and even having that indicator that tells you where the braking points are. But unfortunately, from what I can gather, using the racing line is slower, or using the indicated racing line is slower. It's not the quickest, but it does really help you get around the track in a good and timely manner, especially knowing where to brake and where not to brake is a benefit. But I think I thought it was time for me to actually get rid of the racing line and try and actually race like people do. Looks like, did something come off there? No, I definitely got past anyway. I could have probably took that corner a little bit quicker, but it is what it is. we're only human. We're always gonna make mistakes at some point. But yeah, I'm gonna tuck in behind this fella if I can. That was a poor corner, and he looks like he's come off himself. Yeah, I think he's struggling with his tyres, this fella at the front. But like anything I'll do, I'll just persevere and obviously let somebody else pass. And another person. Come on, Colin, you can do better than this. Maybe I'm struggling a little bit at this point. Yeah, I think I am. I think more than anything, I think I'm now thinking about the end game and finally getting around the tracks without any points against me, and keeping that safety rating as high as possible. I mean, keeping your safety rating high is quite hard, especially when you're racing with certain individuals like that one. God, he threw himself off the track. Racing with certain individuals, they can cause many accidents and can ruin your race and your stats as well. But like anything, it's working and driving smart, trying to get around the corners, keeping your eye out for people that you feel are going to be in your way and causing an obstruction. I mean, you also do have the people that have poor connection as well, where you'll be racing and the car disappears in front of you and you think, he was there a minute ago, where is he now? Them type of people cause accidents as well, so it's keeping your eye out for all these particular points. You know, it can affect you in any way, shape and form, especially if you're trying to keep your rating up as high as possible and then you get ruined or taken out because of someone has a bad connection or it's just being idiotic. Yeah, coming on to the final lap now, which is a very big bit of, it's like a weight being taken off my shoulder at this point. I feel like I've actually achieved something. Like I said, I've only done this track and car a couple of times, and I feel that I'm miles off the pace. But at the same breath, I'm actually happy that I've actually made it the majority around without causing somebody an accident or killing anybody. I feel like I've massively achieved something, especially in this race. But yeah, enjoying the Ferrari. I think it handles quite well. I feel that with a little bit more time, I can actually get it to where I need to be. But I am catching people very, very slowly at this point. Whether I can actually gain a place is well, I'll be dreaming, I think, at this point, because I'm coming into the final corner now, and I'm taking it very easy. Yeah, happy with my race. Didn't do too bad. Gonna bring it home now, get it into the pits, and we'll see what place we actually finished and what actual time we did as well. Right then, let's bring the car home and see exactly where I finished on the table and what sort of speed and position I finished. Did I say that? Anyway, let's have a look at it, shall we? So, the race wasn't actually too bad, if I'm going to be honest. I improved on my safety rating. I went up 0.8, which is good, and plus 22 on my I rating as well, which is an added bonus. There was a few cars that finished in front of me. The quickest time was 107.748, and that was the guy who finished in third. I actually finished in fifth, believe it or not. That's not too bad. And my quickest time was 108.964. So I'm happy with that. I didn't do too well and only had one incident points against me. So that's me. That's how I finished. And I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. And I'll catch you hopefully on the next one.